What's cracking, everybody? I'm DJ Sparker, aka Demo, and welcome back to the Pokemon Sun and Moon Wi-Fi battle. That date is not wrong. This battle was had, like 2 months ago, and, I kind of forgot I had this, so, yeah, I don't have to record a battle for this, this week. Thank you, oh lord. So, this is a team I built around Meloetta, one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, and I'm kind of sad that it's NU, but, yeah, what are you gonna do with PS5 usage? So, another thing, this battle is, with a good friend of mine, Vince, if you haven't seen him before. We've had battles, constantly with each other, so, yeah, that's the thing. So, without further ado, let's get into this battle. So I led off with my Starmie because, the Bronzong lead on my opponent's side was pretty obvious. I mean, he can't really lead, he doesn't really lead with anything else, so Bronzong can get up, rocks, and I can spin him away with Starmie, so that is the reason why I, let off with my Starmie. So, I do want to speed this thing unless this is like a, Trick Room team, so I just decided to go for Surf on this thing and just do as much damage as I could to this thing. And I could just rapid spin away the hazards if he decided to set him up, and, that is a decent amount. That's a decent amount. I am Life Orb, and my opponent sets up a light screen, so it's a screen setter, Bronzong, and that is, pretty troublesome for my team, because it's gonna make him so bulky, and I always forget about screens until they go away. Like, that's the thing with, screens, or just battlefield effects in general. You always forget about them until you, see them go away. So my opponent, goes on into his Persian, and as I go into, Ferrothorn, and he actually doubles out into Charizard. I just set up the stealth locks because he has no way of removing them, so that is a nice thing. Unfortunately, I am forced out by this, Charizard. I'm assuming it's Charizard Y, so I just go into my, my Zygarde right here, and unfortunately, a little bit, Aura Break, go away. And unfortunately, it's Mega Charizard X, which is actually very scary for my team. I don't really have a lot that can take a hit from this thing, because Tough Claws, Flare Blitz, and Dragon Claws hit so hard. My opponent goes for an Earthquake right there. I'm expecting something to switch in, or resist to switch in. And that does, a respectable amount. Zygarde is pretty bulky for a, sleeper. So, he switches out into his, Tangrowth, because that is really the #1 switch in for a Choice Banded Zygarde. And, fun fact, I'm actually really mad. I've actually had 3 battles that were really, really good. That, a long time ago, but they actually got deleted with the game's most recent update, and I'm really sad about that. And these battles, this battle, while good, it's nowhere near as good as the battles that I had previously. So, I switch into my Mega Pinsir right here, as my opponent unfortunately goes for a Sleep Powder. Yeah, it's not a soft Vest Tangrowth, so that is pretty unfortunate. Unless it has hidden power, Tangrowth can't really, do much to Pinsir. So that is a plus side to having a Mega Pinsir plus Zygarde. That's actually a really good partner for Zygarde. So my opponent goes on into the, Charizard again, and I just stayed in the Mega Evolve just because I would have burned a Sleep turn and had a better chance of waking up in the future turns. So that is the thing. I do have that one guaranteed turn of sleep. So yeah, this is pretty scary. He has no reason not to click a fire move. So I go on into my Starmie again because I don't want to switch into Zygarde, fearing a frickin' Dragon type attack. So he goes for a Fire Punch, and thankfully, yeah, that does a lot actually. Holy crap, that's a crit. That's why. So I'm kind of wishing I had leftovers on this Starmie like I usually do, but my opponent switches out into the Wishy-Washy right here, and I love how we had this battle a few months ago, and PU just came out, and half of this team is like PU. Oh man, why is Wishy-Washy so? I wish this thing was an evolution. Like, there's no reason to not have this thing as an evolution. Ah man, poor Wishy-Washy. Could have been at least decent. Oh well. So, I do have Thunderbolt, but I don't really want my Starmie to go down because it does outspeed the Charizard if it doesn't start boosting up Dragon Dances. So, that is a reason to keep it alive. And I have Ferrothorn as a perfect switch-in. So, my opponent goes for Earthquake to hit me for neutral damage, which is alright, and doesn't do a crazy amount of damage because I am physically defensive. So, I just basically go for a Leech Seed right here because, you know, that's a really good thing to do. He has no, I guess he has a grass type in Tangrowth, but Tangrowth can't really do much to me. So he goes on into his, Bronzong right here, and I'm honestly fine with this. I don't really care if he sets up any screens or whatever. I could just It gives me a lot of time to set up my spikes, which can hinder the Wishy-Washy a lot, and wear down the Charizard even more. So that is honestly really good. He of course sets up the screens, but they don't last forever, fortunately for me, and spikes do, so I just take the time to get up my spikes. And can I just go back to Wishy-Washy for a second? There's literally, I don't know if I talked about this before, but there's literally no reason to have that thing's ability as an ability. Like, why? Like, at first I thought it was for the in-game trial. So like the Totem Wishy-Washy was level 20, so they could actually just have it an ability, but again, there's no reason to have that as an ability because they could just make it an evolution and it wouldn't make a difference. Like, it doesn't even have to have a good ability. They could literally just give it Water Veil and it'd be decent. Like, Water Veil, at least. I don't want to be burned. What if they give it, like, Water Bubble? That would be broken. So, my opponent finally switches out into the, Charizard right here out of the Bronzong, and I predicted that because Bronzong can't really do much else to me, so I just went for another Leech Seed, making a pretty bold prediction there. So, Charizard is being worn down a lot. So, I could switch into Zygarde again, fearing a Fire Punch, but I go into my Sylveon, predicting a Dragon Punch because he doesn't really lose anything from. Well, I guess he kind of does lose something because he could go down to Leech Seed plus Rocky Helmet plus Iron Barb, so there was a risk to that. So, I can actually just protect and kill this Charizard with the Leech Seed. Thankfully, this thing goes down because that thing just punches holes in my wall. If this thing is pulled out of roost, then I would have been mad. I mean, he really could have done that. I mean, of course, a Pixilate Hyper Voice would have blown him back, but I don't think it would have killed if he roosted. So, he goes down into his Tangrowth. Even though he is physical defensive, not special defensive with Assault Vest, I could have just stayed in and frickin' just, Hyper Voiced him to get off some damage, but I just wanted to at least try to wake up with my, Pinsir right here. So, my opponent goes for a knockoff, which can't knock off my Mega Stone, and he can't really do much to me, aside from, well, Leech Seed me, as he does, pull out right here. And I kinda spoiled it, and I don't care, but frickin' I'm waiting for the battle. Wi-Fi is slow, okay? It's slow. So, he's wearing me down with Leech Seed, and that's pretty unfortunate. I think his last move is Giga Drain. I don't think he showed it, but I mean, he really should have Giga Drain at his last move. I wake up and go for a return, and that does nothing. Well, it does damage, but it doesn't OHKO. It does a lot less than I thought it would, and he makes a really good read, and, well, that was kind of luck-based, so I guess he really had no reason not to Sleep Powder in case I woke up again, so that was a pretty good play. Hats off to Vince. Hats off to Vince. So, Leech Seed is really wearing my Pinsir down. I can't really, yeah. Seeing as it is physically defensive, it can't really take a specialty because, Jacobs does have, like, base 50 special defense. I mean, maximum investment in Assault Vest really goes a long way. So, I went into my Zygarde, trying to get a Toxic off this thing, and I was really hoping that he would, knock off my Choice Band so I can outrage this thing. But, he doesn't do that. Well, actually, there he reveals his Giga Drain, so, yeah, that's a thing. So, I need to get off a Toxic on this thing to put this thing on a timer and stop stalling out my team. He unfortunately doesn't go for a knockoff and goes for a Giga Drain. Unfortunately. And that would have been the perfect turn for me. But, oh well, I could have just outraged his entire team right then and there. Oh well. So, Zygarde does have a little bit of potential left, even at such low HP, because, Bandit E-Speed could do a lot. So I go into my, Ferrothorn to at least wall this thing. Can't Leech Seed me, can't put me to sleep, can't, Giga Drain me. He could knock me off, but that would, have him take a lot of damage. So he does knock me off right here. I am Rocky Helmet, so he does get all of this recoil due to, Iron Barbs and Rocky Helmet and the Toxic racking up. So that is very good. He really could switch out and preserve this thing, but I guess he doesn't. I do get out my last layer of spikes to, use what damage I can to whatever wants to switch in. And I really expected him to switch out, so I just went for Leech Seed right here. I believe I did. So, I guess he would, he does the Toxic right here. Yeah, I did Leech Seed. Because he really could have freaking saved his Tangrowth. I mean, he did do a lot of work, but I guess it didn't really do much at the end of the day. Zygarde wasn't such a low HP, so I didn't really have much to switch it into. So he goes on into his Rotom fan right here, and I get the name. It's a fan, someone named a fan service. Whatever. So I went out into my Starmie just to sack it off, and he goes for an Air Slash and actually misses, unfortunately. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but he's actually Choice Scarf, so he doesn't really miss out a lot on this miss. I guess he misses out on 1 PP, but that doesn't really matter that much. So we're going into my Meloetta, which is very specially bulky and can take a special hit. I really gotta learn how to speak English. He withdraws his fan and goes on into his bell right here. Still pretty inanimate object Pokemon. So I predicted that and went for a Calm Mind right here. Now I do have the Focus Blast, which can hit this thing it can KO it. So I go for a Focus Blast right here and unfortunately miss. And he talked to me after this battle and wishes he got off a light screen because yeah, it could miss. I mean, that was honestly the better play instead of going for rocks, because yeah, it did take care of the Pinsir, but yeah, it would stop the sweep of this Meloetta, because Meloetta is literally gonna run house on this tiny team right now. Who needs a frickin' pirouette form? Who, I tell you. So he goes on into his Scarf Rotom, which does outspeed me, and he actually goes for a Dark Pulse right here, which is you know, could flinch me, but I do eat it up thanks to that Calm Mind. And I just blow this thing away with a Hyper Voice. I mean, I guess you're technically blowing out air because it's a voice. I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't know where I'm going with this. So Meloetta is pretty much set to sweep here. I don't know why he's not going out into his Persian, because at the time I didn't know. Like at the time I didn't really know why he wasn't going on to his Persian, because it did outspeed and it does run knockoff in U-turn. So that was a thing he could go out into, but he didn't, and you'll actually see why in a minute. So I destroy this Wishy-Washy with a Hyper Voice. Meloetta is just sweeping right here. I guess to be fair, it's against a bunch of NU Pokemon, so it's balanced here, I guess. If you want to go that way, I don't really care about that. So he goes on to his Persian. I thought my Meloetta would go down to a knockoff here, but Vince actually reveals that he is a special Persian and goes for a Hyper Voice. And well, I guess that is fair. That is fair. I was actually expecting this thing to lead off with this thing at least, because he could fake me out and U-turn something. I don't know, but that explains why, because he was special. And Meloetta just sweeps his entire team right there. So that is GG. GG, Vince. And I'm really happy to have used the Pokemon that I built this team around. Like, how many times do you ever have that problem? You build a team around a Pokemon, but you never use the Pokemon you built around. Like, that is just annoying. So, if you like this team and want to use it for yourself, it's down below in the description. And if you want to see more battles of mine or the content in general, be sure to click like, comment, rate, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!